Hello and welcome back to another episode of the HangTimes. News and sends, cool stuff happening across the country in Australia. This week, a V10 at 10, a Shaun Raboutou first ascent, open project Rethinking chalk, and a $15,000 mega prize for a climbing competition. So starting off, Albie Risk sent the Viking a V10 at the Grampians. Now, Albie, if you haven't heard, is 10 years old. He climbed his first V9 at the age of 9, and he has sent the Viking a V10 at the age of 10. Absolutely phenomenal. I follow Albie on his socials, and I watch him do pull-ups on 6mm edges. This potentially makes him the youngest person in Australia to send V10. And if that's not news, what are we doing? Because these are the achievements and the exact things that I want to highlight. If people don't know about it, if people aren't aware of what's happening across the country, like the youngest person in Australia just sent V10. He's on this trajectory. He's a incredibly strong dude. And I reached out to him about his send, and his father passed on some questions and he was able to answer them. So without further ado, Albie, what do you like about climbing in general? And he replied with, I like most sports and did many for a while. But the best thing about climbing is that it is a full body contact. Every part of my body is trying to solve a puzzle, often with my friends, which is really cool. What do you like about outdoor climbing? I asked. In the outdoors, there is the surprise of how the holds feel like when I touch them the first time, which is different from outdoors as I usually know the feel of the holds. Also, in the outdoors, I can be creative and finding new betas and intermediate holds that adults can't. Yeah, man, I've watched him hold on some wild holds. How does it feel to get so strong? And Albie's simple response, because he knows nothing else, good. He seems so funny. I want to meet him in person. I haven't yet, but Albie and Umgard, I would love to meet you guys. How did you prepare for the day that you sent Viking the V10? Did you think you would send? I did all the preparations to the top of the climb, long sleep, good breakfast with lots of eggs and veggies. I also didn't run up the hill, and he took breaks, so he rested. It took about 6 attempts to top the climb on the send day. It was freezing cold early in the morning. When I had my first attempt, I muddled my beta so bad to get halfway through and fell. I felt stressed and started to doubt it would happen that day. Took longer breaks, bigger rests, which he doesn't like to do, and had another great attempt, but fell on an easy hold towards the end and started crying. Had a long, maybe another 15 to 20 minute break in the sun and gave it another attempt and sent the climb. In the video, which should be overlaying right now, it might look clean, but I've actually changed my beta again in this attempt and just kept going. I was shocked to top the climb with such odd mix of moves and betas, but I was happy to top it. It was still early morning, around 11 a.m. on Saturday, and had the rest of the weekend, but they headed home. I asked, what did you like about this particular climb, the Viking? I love how many moves this climb has. The heel-toe cam twice, heel hooks, toe hooks, crimps, throwing moves, shouldering moves, and how overhung and long the climb is. It's his favorite climb. Big shout out to Albie. I find that so impressive, and I've already seen him trying 11, jumping on 11. So the future is very bright for this young man. So show some love and support him as well in the journey. I think this is the perfect time to have these mentors. I know Cal Mather climbs out with him, to have these people who are out there and probably learning so much from these climbers as well, from these young crushers. This wave, this new generation is, super important to protect and get them out there and do some cool stuff on rock. Very excited for the future. But in the present, if you weren't aware, if the channels were down, Shaun Raboutou was in Australia and might still be. He goes under the radar, this fellow. He's very mysterious. But he was in the Grampians, he headed up north, and he first ascended a V14 boulder. This boulder was known as Bumpy Boys Direct Proj. It was a fabled line in Nowra. It was a speculated V15 as well. But Jeremy, who had been trying it, found some knee bar or knee lever beta, which was almost like, it looks like on the video, a drop knee / knee bar sort of beta to unlock the moves. And once Shaun got the repeat, once Shaun put it up, he called it 14 with that new beta. But that's pretty cool that there was a speculated 15 and got put up. Shortly after, though, to bring it about Australia, Ryan Sklenica, if you're unaware of who Ryan is, he is one of Australia's strongest climbers. He is also mysterious and goes under the radar. But Ryan is one of only 2 Australian males who have sent 9A+. He put up Turbo Mouse in Nowra as well, along with Tom's Hump of Trouble. Those are both the 2 hardest sport climbs in Australia currently. And Ryan's one of them. So Ryan went back and he got the second ascent of Cheese Stees, which is everything coming out of Nowra right now is so cheesy. It's all in Cheesedale. So Cheese Stees is up as a V14 with the second ascent by an Australian, put up by Shaun Raboutou. That doesn't get much better than that, does it? They jokingly called the knee lever the Jeremy because it really helped unlock the climb. I reached out from Ryan for some information about the send, and it really just came down to 4 moves basically, which obviously without a knee bar could be 15 moves, V15 moves. So it's very impressive to see him on it. Seems like he'd been working it a little bit when it was put as an open project, but he got it after actually he'd always try it in between route tries, he said. In between trying routes and going out and sport climbing. But he ended up putting some bit more time into it this season, and it went down pretty quickly for him. So very cool to see some things that Ryan is doing, especially over in Nowra. There's very strong crew in Nowra, and they're obviously doing some very cool things. Give him a follow. All the links for Albie and Ryan will be in the bottom of this episode or tagged in these videos. These are the guys who are going to be the future and is the future, current, present weapons and incredible inspirations of Australian climbing. So I invite you to follow their journey and tune in to what they are doing. But if you're not, that's what I'm here to do as well. So we don't need to worry about it. Open project. They have 1 month until the film submissions happen for their Projector series, which so many cool things happened last year. Sam Gulliver, G-Wood crew, all the recent guests. If you ever saw Whispers, that was a great video for Wilson's prom. Can't remember the cinematographer or climber's name, but very beautifully shot. And it was all produced and brought to you by Open Project. And they are looking to like develop and push Australian climbing in so many different new ways. And they released their OP Press article of changing the chalk industry in Australia, or just modifying it or alternating it. And they want to work with distribution and packaging and shipping methods. So how to cut the waste, the unnecessary waste of all these bags of chalk getting shipped in places. You know, we don't really think about where chalk comes from and how it gets to places. So they want to create a large distribution, like in gym, in each gym, or as many gyms as they can find across the country, and it bulk distributes chalk, the exact amount that you need in your chalk bag or chalk bucket, or for the day or for the trip. So you don't have to buy these bags that constantly get thrown away. And to buy in bulk is going to reduce like shipping load and transport load and I think it's an incredible idea, and I hope they really push this forward. So I want to give them some love and show what they're doing, because they're coming at Australian climbing from such a unique angle and really seem thoughtful and have their hearts and hands in the right places. So a big shout out to Open Project for what they're doing, and enjoy and follow that story. Finally, I will leave you with a $15,000 first prize or Open A prize pool for an indoor competition. I don't think that's unprecedented. Completely unprecedented. Olio and Skyward Climbing are putting on the money comp in October, later this year, October 10th. I'm going to get some more news about that, but the news dropped this week, last week, don't know when it was, but within this fortnight, that they're going to have a $15,000 prize pool for Open A winners. And that's getting money back in the pockets of climbers. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do. And that is the end of the HangTimes episode 3. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you all enjoy the weekend that just happened, the week that's coming. I'm heading to the Grampians on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If they're out there, say hello. Otherwise, good luck on your projects, and we'll speak to you all very soon.